What's up, guys? Back with All Ball Talk. Today we're going to be going over the huge move. Both Jackson Shelstad and Flory Bidunga go to Louisville. This is absolutely shocking, in my opinion. This came together so quickly. Two of the best players in the portal. I have a little bit lower thoughts on Jackson Shelstad, but we'll get to that later. First, I want to show you guys. I have a free Discord. It's in the channel bio. You guys should join. It's fully free and pretty much there just trying to build a community and get everybody again just talking about sports just with other people. It's completely free. Join if you want to. It's in the channel bio. But to get to this, yeah, Flory Bidunga, the number one player on the portal on 247. He's obviously a really great defender. He is a little limited offensively. Pretty much all he can do is catch lobs. But he was really effective. He was the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. Super talented player. I went over him in a previous video. If you want to know my thoughts on Flory Bidunga, the player, I made a video about a week ago around that. And again, he's super talented. I'm a little surprised this is a package deal with Jackson Shelstad, because Jackson Shelstad, to me, is honestly not a... I don't think he's a guard you can go to a Final Four with. And I believe they're going to get Adrian Woolley back. And so if I'm looking at a roster of Adrian Woolley, Jackson Shelstad, and a Flory Bidunga, I think that's good nonetheless. I think that team's going to compete. They'll probably finish second in the ACC behind Duke, maybe third behind Virginia. We know NC State will be operating pretty well. We'll see how they do. But again, I don't like this move as much as I thought I would for Louisville, especially since it's rumored that they're paying them both. I saw somebody say $9 million. I heard 7.5 for somebody else. I think Flory got at least 5, and we know Flory got the number that he asked for. That clearly Bill Self wasn't willing to ask or wasn't willing to give him, which I don't blame Bill Self at all. This is somebody who is an amazing defender. Don't get me wrong, but he has so limited offensively. Maybe Pat Kelsey unlocks him, but I don't know. I think you just go into next year and you have Jackson Shelstad, who in my opinion is an inefficient guard. Well, he's not super inefficient. I think he's a good shooter, but he doesn't play defense. He kind of has to be the initiator in an offense, which is a tough one for me because I think he's a high-level player. But how much are you really getting? Does he make an impact that Michael Brown made last year, and that team was a 6 seed? No. Or Ryan Conwell? No, he's not as good as either of them. Adrian Woolley will obviously hope to make a big jump, but I think Shelstad came in the portal looking for a bag. He got his bag. And I think, frankly, they overpaid for Shelstad. Now, I think at Louisville with that type of money that they give Pat Kelsey, I think he could have found a better option. I think there is no reason that they couldn't have gone out and maybe poached somebody even better. If I look through the portal here, I just think they could have gotten someone better. But Flory is, they had to pay. The big men right now are at a complete, pretty much need. I mean, everybody needs a Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year who provides elite rim protection. You know what I mean? And that they're at a, I'm trying to think of the word, but I like this. I like this move for Flory. I think that they had to pay for him. He is the best player in the portal. So I'm pretty on board with that, especially since they saw having Sananda Frew, who's going to get $3 million apparently, who didn't even average double digits, but and did not protect the rim. I think Pat Kelsey noticed how much that hurt him, and I think that's a good move to find the guy that kind of fixes that issue. But again, Bidunga's good, but what is so great about Jackson Shelstad that you have to pair him with Adrian Woolley? They have so much money. I think even if they picked up a Ryan Conwell type of player, this is still a team that competes for the Final Four. Because I think if they have a Ryan Conwell player, Flory Bidunga, and they have Adrian Woolley, that's a really, really good team. That team is super talented, and I would love to see how far that team makes it. But I'm just not really buying into, we're going to have Jackson Shelstad kind of be the engine of our offense, and then we're going to have a big who protects the rim but can't score. Which obviously, I just think that we saw with Kansas that they had Darren Peterson, and when Darren Peterson didn't play, they had Melvin Council. And that team wasn't going to contend for a Final Four without Darren Peterson. And this Louisville team does not have a Darren Peterson level player. They're going to have Jackson Shelstad, who I think is a little bit better than Melvin Council, but not by much. And I just don't know if I really trust Jackson Shelstad, the player. I know he had a great freshman year when they made that Sweet 16, or they lose in round 32. I kind of forgot, but they were really trash. He only played 12 games last year, or obviously, I guess last year technically, but he kind of dropped the dud. He didn't really develop at Oregon. I thought he was gonna be so much better, but you never know. Like, it could work out. Don't know if I really trust Pat Kelsey yet. He really hasn't won any big games except for winning that tournament game against South Florida. And then again, that's a 6 versus 11 seed. I know that South Florida was a really, really good team, but a 6 against 11 is, they did what they should have. But again, like, it's a tough move. Like, Jackson Shelstad just doesn't really bring that upside to me that I think that Louisville could have gotten. Although I think Bidunga is a great ad because they had to pay up for a big after seeing what happened to them last year. So, I mean, in all, like, I think it's a solid. I would grade it probably around a B-. I just don't know if Pat Kelsey's building a team that competes for a championship, really. I'm definitely a little bit lower on this move than others. It really depends on how high you are on Jackson Shelstad, because I'm not high on Jackson Shelstad at all. My friend Sean is definitely high on Jackson Shelstad. And I've seen guys like Raphael Davis. He's not high on Jackson Shelstad, but Brian Ralph is. And that's pretty much determining, because everyone knows that Flory, you got to give it an A. He could be a first-round draft pick if he wants to go out. But he's just a really talented player who honestly, like, he impacts winning, clearly. Like, he impacted those games that they beat Arizona without Darren Peterson. So they paid up for him. I know he's limited offensively, but again, like, it's a fine move. They had to do it. It's just, I think they could have gotten a better choice in a guard other than Jackson Shelstad, so I'm gonna give it a B-, because I think that this team will 100% be competitive. Like, I think that maybe they'll finish behind Virginia, but maybe behind a Michael Malone ACC. Talk about the ACC might be back. I mean, we're going to have a competitive Louisville, a really, really competitive UNC, in my opinion, if Michael Malone gets the right people around him. And then we're going to see a competitive Virginia team like we did last year. And NC State, who knows, Justin Gainey, they could be back. So I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see how this Louisville works out, because I think it's a different approach than Pat Kelsey has made the last couple of years there. He hasn't really had a true big at Louisville, and I think he paid up for one who impacts winning at a high level. So we'll see. I expect this to be. Both of them are going to contribute well. It's just I think the ceiling is a little bit capped with the offensive side of the ball. Like, I think the defense should still be pretty good with Flory at the rim, but Jackson Shelstad does not play defense. And I'm excited to see where this team goes. But again, I'm not high on Jackson Shelstad. I'll give it a B-. And I'll see you guys later. More transfer portal talk for sure. Moves are happening daily now. It's really starting to come up now that there are visits. All these visits are just who's going to give you the highest number. But a ton of news coming out daily, so we'll keep you guys updated. See you next one.